That committee, Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy. Senator Cassidy, thanks for joining us. So I thought that they lowered drug prices for everybody.
Yeah, they lowered drug prices. Who are you going to believe? Your lying eyes or what they're telling you? To illustrate what I'm speaking of, the administration is putting forward a program costing us, the taxpayers, $5 billion specifically to keep Part D premiums, the kind of drug insurance that Medicare recipients buy, to keep those premiums from going up so substantially. And you're not going to believe how long this program lasts. It only lasts for 1 year. Now, would this be an election year? Is it like they don't want premiums to climb just before November? But that's how the Inflation Reduction Act is working, with a $5 billion subsidy to kind of mask the fact that premiums are actually going up.
It's that, Senator, but it's also they brag over and over again about drug price controls. And we have heard from pharmaceutical company after pharmaceutical company about how they're pulling back on drug development and research and development. And because of the way these price controls are designed, it discourages the creation of drugs to treat very rare, say, forms of cancer. And we will have to wait years to really see the devastation that this Inflation Explosion Act has caused.
I like your rhetoric. You're really good at that, the Inflation Explosion Act. But I just go down to it. The months before the election, they're asking for $5 billion for a one-year program to keep premiums in Part D, the drug insurance that seniors purchase, to keep those from rising dramatically. Now, again, this is supposed to be decreasing the cost of drugs, and yet the insurance that people are purchasing is going up in price. Now, that's not inflation reduction. Maybe it's, as you call it, the inflation explosion. But again, who are you going to believe, their rhetoric or your lying eyes?
Right, exactly. All right, so I want to ask you about this. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 20% of small businesses fail within the first 2 years, and nearly half within the first 5 years. You're leading a bipartisan push to allow small businesses to use derivatives. Tell us exactly how this works.
Yeah, so right now, if an airliner wants to pre-purchase enough jet fuel for the next 5 years, they'll lock in a price, $3.50 a gallon. Now, if the price of the jet fuel goes up to $5, then they're held harmless because they locked in that price at an earlier stage. Airlines can do it because they're so big. Small businesses cannot do it. And so a small business, particularly in this high inflation environment, plans on the cost of inputs to be this, and boom, then they're that, and the business goes upside down. Ours would allow those small businesses, enable them to hedge just like bigger businesses. You got to buy a commodity, you can lock in that price for the next 3 years so that you can book on what it's going to cost you as a hedge against inflation, as a hedge for your profitability.
Senator Cassidy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you both.